Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm just going to wait for some of you guys to tune in before I get started. I hope I'm not blurry on Facebook because I can hear my computer making so much noise. Um, if this is your first time tuning in, say hi. Let me know where you're tuning in from. If this is not your first time tuning in, still say hi. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, Instagram. Good morning, YouTube. Um, let's see. Okay, guys. So let me introduce myself. My name is Aisha Chidole. I'm an immigration attorney. I help clients in all 50 states with their immigration matter, all 50 United States with their immigration matter. I don't know. I think I lost you guys. Can you see me or can you guys hear me? If you're on Facebook or YouTube, can you confirm that you can see and hear me? Same thing with Instagram. Can you see me and hear me? I lost signal for a little bit, but you can confirm that you can see me. Anywho, okay, so you guys can see me on Facebook. Good. So as I was saying, my name is Aisha Chidole. I'm an immigration attorney. I help clients in all 50 United States with their family immigration matter, humanitarian cases like VAWA cases, cases on abuse based on conditional green cards, and things of that nature. My phone number here is 407-995-6567. And my WhatsApp, if you want to send a text message, is 404-333-8751. And before I get into it, I'm sure you guys have seen that we are doing what we call 10 days of giving in celebration of Thanksgiving. So you have the opportunity to win $100 every day. And then on the last day, you have the opportunity to win the grand prize, which is $500. Instructions are very simple. You will not be entered into the drawing if you do not follow the instructions. So you have to follow the instructions. You can't do one half and leave the other half. You have to actually follow all instructions in order for you to be entered to win each day. We will start announcing winners tomorrow. My kids have been wanting to come on my live, so they will be announcing my lives tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll just come on live just to announce the winner for each day. So each night we'll announce one winner, and then of course, the grand prize winner on the don't quote me on this. I think it's the 19th or the 20th. I don't remember. But it's basically there for you guys in the post. So today I want to talk about VAWA myths, things that people think are true but are not true as it relates to VAWA. And I just wanted to cover the six most common ones we get. And the first one is that, as a man, you don't qualify to apply for VAWA. That is a myth. It is not true. And I've told you guys this several times. You're eligible for VAWA whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, whether you're in a same-sex marriage, whether you're a child, whether you are a parent, as long as you meet the requirements to be classified as that. Okay, so that is a myth. It's not only for women, even though the name can be confusing because VAWA means Violence Against Women's Act. That doesn't mean that you don't qualify. The second myth is that you need a police report, that if you don't have a police report, you can't qualify. Again, that is another myth. Now, if you have a police report because, while you and your spouse or you and your parent or you and your child had it, that's great. That's great. But if you don't have a police report, that is not going to disqualify you from getting a green card or for being approved for VAWA. A lot of times people who are in abusive situations, when they're undocumented or they don't have any papers or they've their visas have expired, they're truly afraid of getting the authorities involved, because there is a fear that if I get the authorities involved, I might be arrested. And we've actually seen that happen, where the authorities got involved, and the person that ended up getting arrested and being placed in removal was the abused victim that had no papers. So, if it's safe for you to report, sure, report, but whether or not you report, it does not it's not going to basically hurt your case if you have other credible evidence. And I can see all your questions, and I will, once I finish the myths, I'll start answering the questions that I can with the time that I have. The next myth is that you have to get a divorce if you are filing a VAWA claim. So the answer to this is that is not true. You don't have to get a divorce. If you choose to get a divorce while your VAWA case is pending, that's okay. But if you choose not to get a divorce, that's okay as well. I mean, that is a personal decision between you and your spouse and whatever you want to do. So, people always ask me, I'm filing a VAWA case. Do I have to leave my spouse? Can I stay with my spouse until my case is finished? Or if I leave my spouse, is this going to affect my case? So the answer is, regardless of whichever route you take, whether you choose to divorce, or whether you choose to stay, it doesn't affect your case. Somebody, Bettina, is asking, good morning, what's the number to call to reach for help? The number to call is 407-995-6567. And it's also scrolling. It's also like, if you see, you can see like I'm scrolling through the ticker right now. But let me try and multitask and type that in there for you. That's the number to call. So the third, what number was I on? I forgot now. I think I was on 1, 2, 3. So the fourth myth is that your spouse will find out. So your spouse is not going to find out from me as your attorney, and your spouse is not going to find out from USCIS. If you submit a VAWA petition, it behooves you to not go around blabbing your mouth and telling people, oh, I'm filing, or you get into a fight with your spouse and you're like, I'm filing a VAWA case. One, that is not safe for you. You shouldn't do that. Okay. And then the second thing is, your spouse is not going to find out from USCIS, because USCIS is bound by certain confidentiality rules, which basically do not permit them to disclose that you're a VAWA applicant for your safety. The same applies to me as your attorney. For your safety, I would never reveal that to your spouse. So you also, if you are sharing with people that you're submitting a petition, you want to make sure that those people are people that you trust and have allegiance to you. Preferably, you shouldn't be sharing, but if they have allegiance to you, so that it doesn't get back to your spouse. But your spouse will never find out from USCIS or from, your attorney. Okay. So myth number 5. Let's see. If you don't stay with your spouse, you won't qualify. So what that means is, another frequently asked question that I get is, okay, now that I'm filing for VAWA, I'm scared to get a divorce, because if I get a divorce, is it going to affect my case? So this is not going to affect your case. It's similar to the other concepts where if you don't stay, or you choose to stay, it doesn't affect your case, and that's actually my, myth number 6, which is you need to leave your spouse. No, you don't need to leave your spouse if you choose not to leave your spouse. I mean, the conventional wisdom says if you're being abused, you should leave, but that's your business, whatever you choose to do. But that doesn't affect your case, whether you choose to leave or not. So those are the 6 myths that I wanted to debunk today. So let me take some of your questions. Good morning, Danny on Instagram. Diablock said, is it true that if you use the gene number to work, it can hinder your case? What is a gene number? I don't know what that is. Sheik says, do you have a recommendation of a law firm in Atlanta on removal proceedings. Call my office 407-995-6567. Let's see. Okay, Danny from Michigan, thank you for tuning in. Let's see. Good morning. I just got my citizenship. I would love to apply for my parents and brothers. Which one is easier to start with, and how long does it take? Well, obviously, it's easier to apply for your parents as long as you are over the age of 21. And it also depends on where your parents. That is always the easiest option. Filing for your siblings can take anywhere from 16 to 17 years. So it's obviously going to take a longer time. So, if you want to at least file for one family member and know that they're going to at least get their green card, you definitely want to go with your parents. Before COVID, I would say it takes like 12 months, but right now you just want to put like 24 months, literally on everything that you submit with immigration. And this could depend on if you're doing what we call consular processing, meaning your parents are outside of the United States, or if your parents are in the United States. Hi, El Boogie. Thank you for tuning in. That's one of my friends, my really good friends from when we were babies. Let's see, what else do we have here? Okay. Hi, PJ on Facebook. Um, Morgan says on Facebook, if my husband is sick, can I go to the interview by myself? I mean, what is your husband sick of? Like, you're gonna get denied. You do not need to go to the interview by yourself. You need to reschedule your interview so your husband can attend. I mean, unless like your husband is like on his well, I don't want to say that because that's morbid. Basically, reschedule if your husband is sick. If you go by yourself, you're gonna get denied. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. This person says, good. Jamie on YouTube says, good morning. I did my biometrics in August. 2 days later, my case says ready to book me for an interview, but up till now, I've not heard anything from them and not even my EAD. So this is one of the things that I always caution. A lot of times I know that you guys want to keep track of your case. And so you go and you put this notification and you give yourself unnecessary panic and alarm because you don't understand how immigration works. So, unless you're an attorney, like honestly, a lot of times the notifications will not make sense to you. So what she's basically saying is, if you get your biometrics, let's say you submit like a marriage-based case using that as an example. Once they're finished with everything, at the main hub and they need to move it to your local field office, it changes to ready to schedule you for an interview. But being ready to schedule for an interview doesn't mean that they're going to schedule for an interview next week. It could still take 6 to 8 months for them to schedule for an interview. All it's just saying is that they're done with it, in Lee Summit or wherever your case is, and they're now moving it to the field office. Usually, if you don't send a medical exam, at that point, also, you will get an I-693 deficiency notice. Again, that is not something to panic about. It's just saying that we're done with everything. This is the only one thing that's missing. So we're going to send it over to your field office. And then when they do schedule you for an interview, you can bring that notice with you. So, because you got that in August, that is not a reason to panic. Your interview could still take a long time. Same thing. You did your biometrics in August. Your work permit will and hopefully should be coming any day now. As long as you applied for one. Even though right now we're seeing some really crazy delays on the work permits, I feel like since they extended it to 2 years, it's actually been more delayed. Okay, let's see. What else? Adekun says, I checked my VAWA case and I saw the USCIS saying that they just linked my biometric fingerprint to my case. How soon do you think I can have my EAD? You're not going to get your EAD, like I mentioned, until anywhere between 5.5 months to 10 months from when you submitted your petition. Like, it's just not happening, right now. I mean, you will have, obviously, there are always some exceptions to the rules where people are just extra lucky and it just comes slightly earlier. But that might be out of 100 people, one person. So it's like a 1% chance. But most people are going to get their work permit between 5.5 months to 8.5 months, and you could fall anywhere in that window. Let's see. That's fine. Okay, so let's see. Prince, how long does it take to get your work permit after your fingerprints? Okay, so I just answered this question. So you can just, I hope you heard my answer to this. Biometric after your biometrics, it can take, anywhere from 2 months to a couple of weeks to 3 months to 4 months. It's just really hard. It used to be easier to predict timelines. But now it's just really hard. Like no lawyer can give you an exact timeline. USCIS can't even give you an exact timeline because one, they don't know who the person who's reviewing your cases are, and there's just a backlog. But if you've done your biometrics, like you actually took your fingerprints as opposed to a bypass, it could take a couple of weeks. And what I mean a couple of weeks, like 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks. So hopefully, you get it soon. Let's see what else do we have here. Sandra, good morning. My question is I filed for my daughter to my sister. She is 21. My question is she going to get to I do not understand this question at all. Yeah, I don't understand your question. You probably need to retype the question. PJ says, I got more than 1 year with my VAWA case, but I still didn't receive anything yet. What do you think? What do you mean you didn't receive anything on your VAWA case? Do you mean you didn't get a prima facie determination letter? You didn't get a VAWA decision? You didn't get a work permit? You have to be a bit more specific so that I'll be able to answer. But most VAWA cases take 24 months to 2.5 years. So if it's a VAWA decision, it takes that long. If it's a prima facie determination that you're saying you didn't even get that one, I definitely think a year is a long time not to have received one if your case was eligible for a prima facie. So without getting into much details about your case, I would say schedule a consult with me. Let me understand what exactly it is that you filed and what you've not received. 407-995-6567. So somebody says, Ms. Juicy, you're asking the same question of work permit. So you can, the answer, I just said the answer, so I'm sure you heard it. Slither on Instagram says, good morning. Explain what a prima facie determination letter is and the benefits. A prima facie determination letter is something that you are given if you submit a VAWA application and you meet the bare minimum. So once you submit your VAWA petition, there's certain requirements that they go through. If you meet the bare minimum requirements to be classified and eligible for approval for a VAWA case, you get a prima facie determination letter. And before I go into the benefits, I just want to point out that a prima facie determination letter is not a guarantee of approval, and it's not a guarantee that you're not going to get a request for additional evidence, but it is a good sign that your case is moving in the right direction. A prima facie letter is they used to call it a prima facie determination approval, but now they call it a prima facie determination letter. Basically, it's a 1-year document that they give you and every dependent under you who's under 21, whether they're in the United States or outside of the United States, basically saying that because you're a VAWA applicant, and you meet the minimum requirements, they're going to allow you to have public assistance and public benefits should you need this. Public assistance and public benefits varies by state, so it will depend on your state. The second thing is for some people, it allows you to have financial assistance with school. Financial aid, and again it would depend on the school, making sure that the school is on SCVIS and that you're able to get into those programs, but you will need to renew that as it expires. So the first time you get a prima facie, you get it for 1 year, and then after that you get 6-month automatic renewals. The third benefit, and this is also very state specific, is that you'll be able to get a driver's license while waiting for your while waiting for your work permit. For most people who submit applications, you generally have to wait for your work permit to get a driver's license. But with a prima facie in certain states, you'll be able to get your driver's license. Off the top of my head, 2 states that allow that are Texas and Florida. Okay, so let's see what else we have here. Peter says, if my U.S. citizen wife cancels my kid's application, when can I refile for them again? I'm a 10-year green card holder. You can refile for them today. Abidemi Ashur says, my wife abuses me regularly. I never knew about VAWA until recently. Can I still file for VAWA? Well, I would love to talk to you to see if you're qualified to submit a VAWA petition. You can call me 407-995-6567. And I'm glad that you're just learning that you have options and that you don't have to put up with abuse. So see, it all says, if your I-360 and I-485 is denied, what next? Well, that sucks. I hope that's not you and you're just asking a hypothetical. But if it's denied, one of the things that I want to do is I want to review why it was denied to be able to say, this is a strategy I'll take. These are the options that, I would go with. Sometimes, an appeal might be necessary. Sometimes refiling might be necessary. So it just really depends. Oh my goodness, guys, I am freezing cold. It is 55 degrees in Florida and, super cold. I don't know if the heater is on in this building, but I am so cold. Okay, let's see. PDE says, is it advisable to travel with PR? What's PR? I don't know what PR is. While VAWA is pending and the I-130 marriage base was denied. I don't know what PR is. Ms. Juicy said, my husband is abusing me, so I'll be in contact. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'd love to definitely talk to you and see how I can help you. Walex says, I have a pending I-360 and a pending 485. I'm trying to renew my work permit and advance parole. Do I need to make any payment for the renewal? No, you should not have to, but you can always go on USCIS fee calculator and calculate for your specific matter. Okay. Okay, PD says advance parole. So, I can't give you legal advice because you're not my client. However, if somebody has approved advance parole based on a VAWA petition that they are filing, and they don't have any removal proceedings, and generally it's okay to travel outside the country. I personally always say to clients, if you do, hi Brazen lawyer, thank you for tuning in. That's also another awesome immigration lawyer in Massachusetts. Follow her. So as I was saying, I always say, if you're going to travel outside the country on advance parole, please do not make it a long trip. Honestly, after COVID, most people have PTSD from traveling and being stuck outside the country. So you just want to make sure that, if you're traveling, that you're able to return and not be stuck outside the US and stuff like that. Okay. All right, let's see. This person says, let me mute my notification. If your husband had a record in the past, would that deter you from getting through with your green card? So you're talking of your U.S. citizen husband. If you're talking of your U.S. citizen husband, it will depend on what his record is. If his record has something to do with child abuse, pedophilia, or anything like that, basically anything under the Adam Walsh Act, that could be a potential problem for you. If it's other things, it may or may not be, but that's the main one that, could pose a problem. All right, let's see what else we have here. Good morning, Orville. Let's see. What else I have here? Okay, guys. I'm going to jump off. So I'm going to be on tomorrow morning, or I'm going to try to be on. I haven't checked my schedule yet, but if I can be on, I'm going to be on somewhere between, 9 to 10. And then tomorrow evening will be the first drawing. So at 8 p.m. Eastern time, it will be the first drawing of our giveaway. And we're going to be giving away $100 every night until the grand prize of $500. But you must follow the instructions. Let me see if I can remember them off the top of my head. You have to be following us either on Facebook or Instagram. You have to share with 5 friends, either on Facebook or Instagram. You have to tell us your favorite memory being an immigrant in the United States. So for those of you who ask me, if you're outside the United States, are you eligible? You're not eligible. You have to be in the United States to be eligible, and you have to be an immigrant or a first generation immigrant or a second generation immigrant to apply for this. And as far as sharing, if you are on Facebook, so if you're on Facebook and you share it, we should usually be able to see that. Just make that post public so that we can see that share. If you're on Instagram and you share us, tag us so that we can see that you shared it. If you meet all those requirements, you'll be entered in the drawing to win. And I hope that, it will help whoever wins. You can use it for your Thanksgiving celebration and all of that good stuff. All right, guys, it was fun talking to you guys, and I will be tuned in tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.